Over the last 2 years, I've interviewed more than 1,000 older people in 35 countries, asking them about their secrets to living a more fulfilling life. Now, I've shared brief snippets of those interviews with you, but I've personally listened to every single second of every interview. So today, I want to share 3 things that these 1,000+ interviews have taught me about what it takes to live a longer, happier, and more fulfilling life. I love asking this question.
What is a big mistake that you've made or a big regret you have that you have learned a valuable lesson from?
Usually, I get responses like this.
I don't think I have a lot of regrets.
I don't sit in regret. If I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't be who I am.
I don't think and
just enjoy life. And if there's something that's distasteful, stay away from it. I mean, you can't hang on to things that are not positive.
But one day in New York City, I asked a 50-year-old man what his biggest regret was, and his answer shocked me.
For me, my biggest regret was I wanted to be an actor. That was my dream since I was in elementary school. I was in all the school plays, and I had a modicum of success when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I was sort of almost on the cusp of making it. I guess I got scared. I need to work. I need to support myself, obviously. I was the quintessential starving artist. I was sleeping on friends' couches. I was bartending. I was a server, whatever, doing what I had to do so I can go on auditions during the day. And I kind of gave up on that dream and got the typical corporate 9-to-5 job. And that's my biggest regret in my life, because that's all I've ever wanted to do was be an actor. And now I have some lame corporate job, and it's I can pay my rent and whatever, live, but what is the point at the end of the day?
This broke my heart. This man seems like a genuinely good guy who had big dreams that crumbled because of social pressures. Now, I'm sure most of you can relate to what he just said. I know that I personally can. I used to work in a bank, not because I wanted to, but because my school, my society, and my friends told me it was the only smart thing to do with my life. I hated it, and I quit that job and started Sprout because I was tired, and I am tired of seeing amazing people like this 50-year-old working in jobs and living lives they're not satisfied with. Now, I've spoken to hundreds of people about living a great life. Some love life, some are not satisfied with it. The conclusion that I've come to is very similar to what one of the Dalai Lama's Buddhist monks told me in northern India.
Whenever we make a mistake, whether it's big or small, it is pretty much your ways of looking at it. In Buddhism, it teaches that the doer and the doing things. You should not see the doer as a kind of source of suffering. The source of the suffering is the emotions that associate with it. The driving force behind is your afflictive emotions, and always try to cope with it and try to handle it in a proper way.
If you don't know yourself, your desires, your strengths, your weaknesses, if you don't know what you want, what your ideal career is, what your ideal relationships are, what your ideal body looks like, if you do not know how to get what you want, if you have no goal tracking system, no healthy habits to support you, no accountability systems, you wind up like the guy in Central Park I just introduced you to. Okay, check this out.
If you're looking back, what's a big goal that you set for yourself maybe in your early 20s that to date you still haven't achieved?
That would be nothing. I wanted to do something that I'm really passionate about, and I feel like I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Not working for anyone else.
How come you haven't gotten to that point yet?
I knew what I wanted. I had no idea how to get there.
Do you think if you had a plan, an outline that would help you kind of set those goals and actually achieve them, that would have helped back in the day?
Absolutely. Dreams are just dreams until you set a plan and you put it in motion.
Goals are incredibly underrated. What I've discovered is that people who grow old and happy are people who have clear direction with their decisions in life. Those who don't take the time to figure out their direction end up with regrets and a lot of I wish I would'ves.
You think most people achieve the goals that they set? I would say a lot of people reach their dreams, but then again, a lot of dreams die. And it's because when we are trying so hard, we're wanting to change the world. But changing the world is very difficult. If we start by changing ourselves, we do change the world around us. So turn that around and then believe that that dream or that idea that you actually do have, it's going to be tested. It's going to reach moments to where you're going to say, I'm done with this. Nobody believes in me. People are laughing at me. Nobody's supporting me. You're going to have that. Each avenue, each instance, each experience has brought you to where you are today. You go and you work for a company that is just going to pay you enough to keep you from quitting. And you tell yourself that I'm going to get back to this later. Later never comes. Where you can go today from here is to set a different course and to rewire yourself in that direction of where you want to be. Look at the value that you can add to other people's life.
Now, I took the advice from people like Wins who have figured life out, and I decided to start journaling about my life. Who am I? What do I want? How do I get what I want? Am I doing the right thing? What should I stop doing? Now, recently, I have taken all of the knowledge and advice I learned from these interviews, and I have created a goal-setting journal. Now, this journal has 4 sections: self-analysis, goal setting, goal tracking, and daily journaling. Every page inside is unique and based on years of research in the real world with older people who know the secrets to living a happier, longer, better life. Now, I made a limited batch of these, and I don't intend to sell this journal again. I really made it for those of you who want to explore goal setting and the questions that are going to be able to guide you towards living your most fulfilling life. So if you want to grab one, then click the link in the description before they run out. Now, I've interviewed the richest of the rich, billionaires, self-made millionaires, you name it. But a lot of you always ask me to interview people who do not have it all. People who are suffering and working paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm Lebanese, and last year I had the chance to interview elders in my beautiful country. Now, for people who don't know, Lebanon, at this time, most people are extremely poor. Most people have had everything taken away from them, and they live in conditions that nobody deserves to live in, especially given what is going on right now. Yet, despite all of this, I received some of the most positive, insightful advice I've ever heard, and it taught me something super valuable about life that I would like to share with you.
Are you happy in life right now?
ايه مبسوط لاني عم بخدم ربي خاصة وقت بتفوت على الكنيسة يعني هيدا هو فرحي بحياة بيشتغل ليعيش ليفرح لينبسط جايب لحظة صغيرة نسي الفرح تبعه ليه؟ لأنه ما في له أسس من وقتها ما عندي أهمية للمصاري صحة منيحة كل شيء منيح لا بدي مصاري ولا شيء ولا بثماني مرة حبيت بالمصاري أبدا ما حبيتش إلا الصبايا بس
يعيشوا حياته يعيشوا كل واحد بوقته مش يفكروا لورا ويفكروا لقدام.
Take your time before you choose what you're going to do in life. Take your time.
Try to look for perfection in everything you do. When you love to the full extent. When you work, give yourself to the full extent. When you want to do a project, never hesitate. Don't be afraid of making mistakes because this is how you learn.
Think about this. What do you really need to be happy? Seriously, I really like putting this question into the following journal prompt. If everything was taken away from you, all of the materialistic things and the capitalistic opportunities that you were given or could acquire, what would make you happy? In my opinion, whatever the answer to that question is what genuinely would make you happy. And it's always the little things, your community, your family, your friends, for some, like in Lebanon, your religion. Now, I found that the idea of happiness for most is clouded by the idea of being favorably judged by society. Most of us would rather be accepted by society than unconditionally pursue what we love. I've spoken to a lot of younger people, and at first, for them, it seems fine. It seems cool to be young and to have nice things and to look good. But as time goes on, and statistically, according to the interviews, this is around 45, 50 years old, most people realize it was all BS. That didn't even matter. Now I'm 25, I'm doing well for myself, I'm working hard, but I don't care about being accepted by society. I care about unconditionally being myself and enjoying the things that make me happy. But I've been judged for years because of it, terribly judged by people who I used to be friends with. But in the end, what is the life that you want to live? Is it going to be one where you're perpetually seeking happiness in the acceptance of other people, or is it going to be the one where you live a life that feels right for you? Only you can decide this, but after speaking to over 1,000 older people all around the world, I can tell you that the second option is really the only right choice. And if you don't know yet who you are, if you don't have your ideal lifestyle clarified, if you haven't set clear specific goals for your life, if you don't have a system to track and achieve those goals every day, every week, every month, every quarter, our goal setting journal will help you change that. You can grab a copy by clicking the link in the description before they run out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspired some beautiful, reflective thoughts. God bless the people of Lebanon. I'll see you next week. And remember, as always, it's a mindset.